Yes, we've all had a weekend with Elden Ring. I'm seeing a wide variety of opinions. Some people thinking this is the best game ever. Some people thinking that the 97 on Metacritic is incredibly egregious. Metacritic scores are one thing, but it's easy to say that there was an incredible amount of hype and anticipation around Elden Ring leading up to its release, and it has some impressive numbers that I want to talk about in this video. We don't have all the stats as far as sales numbers yet, but boy oh boy, From Software has an absolute juggernaut on their hands with this one because Elden Ring is the fastest selling Souls game so far, and based on some initial data we have thus far, it is going to be the fastest selling Souls game by far, and I'll explain why based on some things that we do know right now, but it looks like it's going to smash the popularity of Dark Souls 3. So let's talk about it. Coming from GamesIndustry.biz, Elden Ring is #1 in the GFK UK box charts this week and has smashed the launch sales of previous Souls-like games. Elden Ring is a brand new IP by Japanese developer From Software, and obviously they did Sekiro, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls. Their biggest game previous to Elden Ring was in fact Dark Souls 3. That came out in 2016, and when you compare the sales numbers for Elden Ring to Dark Souls 3 from a physical UK sales standpoint, Elden Ring beat out Dark Souls 3 by 26%. Now if you look at that stat, you might think, hey, 26%? That's not that big. They got George R.R. Martin involved. There was so much hype around this game. You know, I expected it to do a little bit better. Guys, since 2016, to be up by 26% on box sales is a ridiculous statistic, and let me explain why. Horizon Forbidden West also just came out recently. That game sold fairly well by the looks of it. However, comparatively speaking to Horizon Zero Dawn, it was actually down considerably as far as box sales go. Why is that? Because digital sales have accelerated so much more in the last few years, and you're talking about early 2017 for Horizon Zero Dawn compared to early 2022 for Horizon Forbidden West. With Dark Souls 3, we're talking early 2016, I want to say, to early 2022. It's been 6 years since the release of Dark Souls 3, and yet with Elden Ring, they are going up in physical sales. Just think about digital sales for a second. It will have far exceeded what Dark Souls 3 did, and if you don't even want to consider that fact, look at the Steam numbers. The Steam numbers are ridiculous, as this game peaked at like 800,000 players concurrently at once, far outpacing every other From Software game released on Steam put together. Now, that was from Benji Sales on Twitter that put out that stat initially. Credit to him. You do have to consider a couple of things with the Souls titles being released on Steam. Dark Souls 1 came out of delay, Dark Souls 2, I believe, came out of delay, and Dark Souls 3 came in day and day, but Sekiro also came in day and day, so consider that fact, and yet Elden Ring is outpacing all of them. There's a lot of factors to consider, and I'll give one point that's just an anecdote, but based on everybody that I talked to in my personal life, I got one general thing from Elden Ring that was pretty obvious, and I think everybody else also noticed this. This game had an immense level of buzz and hype surrounding it, to the point where it did hit like the mainstream, more casual consumer, and a lot of people knew about it, and a lot of people were going into this game thinking it was a big budget fantasy experience that they could get really into, and a lot of the people I talked to had never played a Souls game in the past, they had never played a From Software game in the past, and they were going into this game thinking that, hey, it's a big fantasy title, it's got so much buzz, George R.R. Martin's involved with it, that sounds like a game that I would be really into, and I think there is a little bit of disappointment that I have talked to with the people that are not familiar with Souls at all, where they didn't know what they were getting themselves into because they're not as connected to what's going on in gaming, and they're not familiar with what the Souls games are and the From Software titles are. They went into this game and absolutely got smacked, maybe traded in the game. I'm seeing people are trading in the game at GameStop, and it's only been like a weekend, so like I don't know about that one, but it sounds like some people kind of got bought into the hype, kind of bought into the FOMO without really knowing what Elden Ring was going to be. However, from, you know, talking to people that were Souls fans, it seems like the majority of them do enjoy the game. Now, personally speaking, 97's a high Metacritic score, guys. I don't know about that 97. That's incredibly high. I would probably peg it around a high 80, around that range, but I also do believe that game scores are sometimes like, yo, there's people complaining about Horizon Forbidden West having a high 80 on Metacritic. Like, a high 80 is an incredibly positive score, and sometimes I think we have some attachment towards this, you know, number of a 90, and if a game doesn't hit a 90, oh, that means it was a disappointment, that means it's not that great, that means if the game was underrated and the reviewers didn't do their job properly, etc., etc. There's so many variants and so many varied opinions, but if you're hitting a high 80, if you're hitting a mid 80, hell, if you're hitting a low 80, even a high 70, those are good scores, but I feel like we've been trained into thinking, hey, if you're not hitting a 90, it's not great. Critics aside, opinion aside, what is looking to be an objective fact is that Elden Ring is going to be a colossal success for Bandai Namco, and hopefully that means that they will be committed to this game for quite a while, and they're going to iron out all the issues in the game. I've played the game on PC, I've played the game on PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5, the frame rate's all over the place, it dips quite a bit. I've heard if you play the PlayStation 4 version on PlayStation 5, while you'll sacrifice on graphics, you'll get a much more stable experience from a frame rate standpoint. Is it playable on PlayStation 5 with the PS5 version? Absolutely, but it's not like this game is a technical masterclass and blow away by any stretch of the imagination. It should be running at a consistent 60 frames per second. On PC, I have a high-end PC, the game runs well when it runs, so to speak, and then the frame stuttering. Holy hell. I've heard of turning off depth of field and turning off bloom. I did both those. Still have pretty bad frame stutter, and for me on PC, it's not even as bad as what I've seen. I've seen some friends play Elden Ring on PC, and their experience was way worse than mine, and they're still playing through the game, and they find it playable and still very enjoyable. But nah, bruh, like, that should not be happening. I've also heard when the reviewers were playing the game, in the game's earlier patch, they had a much better experience with the game. So I'm not about to say, yo, the reviewers didn't do their job properly, how could they bash Horizon for its technical problems, but give Elden Ring a pass? I'm not gonna give them that slight. Yo, I'll take their word. They're all saying that the game was at a different state and different performance-wise prior to the patch. That's fine. At the end of the day, I'm not that emotionally attached to the Metacritic score, and I don't think people should be either. It got a 97. Do I think it should be rated a little bit lower? Probably. Do I care that much? No. What I do know is that objectively, Elden Ring is going to make a lot of money for Bandai Namco. I really want to see how this does parlay into the next Souls title, though, or whatever they do next, because I don't think it's going to be feasible to get into a position where Elden Ring, you can surpass these numbers. It's just going to be very difficult to do. Elden Ring seemed to be like a perfect storm where everybody was super into it. I think that now, since this was so many people's first Souls-like experience, it might be a turn-off for them, and those people have just been pushed away. For the people that always like their Souls-like games, obviously it's going to be around. The next game is going to do incredibly well commercially, but Elden Ring, I do see it being a bit of a peak. Hope I'm wrong. Hey, From Software, if they continue to expand, they're a quality studio, and they deserve all the success in the world, but to me, Elden Ring did feel like it was a perfect storm of sort, where it had so many things going for it. The hype was so insanely high, and I expect it to be a commercial blockbuster, and it's even exceeding my expectations based on the initial numbers we have so far. Who knows? Maybe the digital sales are going to be disappointing, or something. I don't know, but that's probably not going to happen. As far as platform distribution goes, to incite a little bit of a console war, if you guys are that petty, 63% of the box sales reported were on PlayStation 5, 17% were on Xbox, 17% were on PlayStation 4, and 3% were on PC. Now, it should be noted that PlayStation 4 and 5 are far more hard copy, physical copy oriented platforms than Xbox and PC are. Obviously, the majority of people on PC are buying it directly through Steam. Xbox seems to be a more digital oriented platform as well, just with some of their things that they do, the Series S being a $300 box that is readily available. I know the PS4 has a digital model, but that's still $400. Game Pass being such a big thing, getting people in the habit of downloading their titles. So yeah, I could definitely see Xbox being much more tailored towards digital gaming, and PC as well. All platforms are more so tailored digitally than they were, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years ago. That has exponentially increased across the board, but probably more so on PC. PC for a long time, it's been exponentially increasing, in Xbox as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Let me know what you guys think about Elden Ring. A lot of you guys have been playing it over the weekend. You probably have synced a healthy amount of time into the game. I've been enjoying it. I've been having a lot of fun. I think the exploration in the game is like the most fun thing to do. Just go to different spots, see what you can find, not necessarily going from point A to point B in, you know, this one route. but just seeing everything the world has to offer and constantly taking in new experiences, and you're always finding something new. And I've probably put in not that much time, like I didn't know life this game like I did with Horizon, but I put in a solid 25 hours into it so far, and I am enjoying it quite a bit, and I've never been like the biggest Souls guy either. That's gonna do it for me. Definitely sound off with your thoughts in the comments section down below. Interested to see how your guys' experience is going. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.